Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Mr. and Lady, it's your boy Jerm, and you are tuned into another episode of Kinetic Aesthetic. And if you can't tell by the colors of the necklace, it's about that time. We're a quarter of the way into the season. Let's talk about the Bears. We are sitting at a record of 2-2. The way motherfuckers talk about us, you would think that we are like 0-4 or something, or 1-3. But no, we are 2-2. We are tied for last place in the division. I mean, the Vikings are 4-0. They're still looking pretty damn good. The Lions are 3-1. They are who we thought they were. So you've got the Bears and the Packers pretty much fighting for last place right now. But I think that's not going to be the case in a little while. I think we're going to definitely probably be able to pull ahead of them. And I think that one thing that I want to say before I really get into the nitty gritty of this whole conversation is that motherfuckers have overreacted. Motherfuckers were tweaking for the first couple of weeks. I saw so much like just jumping the gun, like sinking of the Titanic, like this was going to be the worst season ever, like we had made such a mistake. All the Justin Fields truthers that have just been waiting for every week just so they can like have the opportunity to say, look at him now, you should have done this, you should have done that. It's not that. I'm going to say one thing. He definitely moved on to a situation that has a much better coaching, much better everything for him. So good for Justin. I'm not trying to use any opportunity in this like episode to like knock on him or anything like that. I'm happy for the man. He does deserve it. But I have literally had arguments like just longer than they should have ran arguments with people about why Fields was the one that we should have kept, why Caleb Williams is like not worth the hype. He's not. We should have done this. We should have done that. It's been a lot of just like heavy like fucking hot takes over these first couple weeks. So that's the whole reason why I felt like I needed to make this. I'm gonna do a whole episode about the NFL, about reviewing the first couple weeks for everybody, for every team, and how they've been looking at all that shit. But for right now, I just had to make this about the Bears because it's been, especially if you're a fan of this team, you've been having to deal with a lot of different little conversations about shit. Like, for starters, Caleb Williams is looking better every single week. Like, even if the stats are not reflecting it, even if, no, number one, there's not a lot of quarterbacks who are just going crazy with the passing numbers right now. Like, let's keep that in reality. Patrick Mahomes has not been looking like a world beater these first couple weeks. He's still been winning games, but he has not been just going crazy with the stats. Like Baker Mayfield is probably the best stats-wise quarterback right now. Like aside from him, I can't really think of too many other people who have been consistently at least putting up yards and numbers. So we have to get that in perspective. He's been showing improvement. He's like has more command of the huddle and command of the pocket and command of the play calling. Well, not the play calling, but the line of scrimmage every single week. He is improving. So we have to be grateful for that. He is, and I'm not trying to use this knock anything about Justin Fields. He is showing in these first couple weeks to me, and this is just my outside perspective. His ceiling is just is so much higher than what Justin Fields was. So I personally am really glad that we took him. I'm not happy with the run game, but I like the fact that we are starting to, especially after this last week with that Rams game, we're using Roschon Johnson more. He coming out of Texas, he definitely always felt like he was one of those people that, all right, that's a good running back that you could just just because the running back position is undervalued doesn't mean that we should think of him as lesser. The receivers, if Keenan Allen can stay healthy, but this has always been Keenan Allen's thing, staying healthy. I think that he's going to be just great to have out there. DJ Moore and Caleb Williams connection is going to get better as the season goes on. Him and Rome, it took a minute for them to really get going, but after that game that Rome had in Indianapolis, I have no worries about him. Finally, it took these last two games, but Cole Kmet is finally starting to actually be involved in the offense. We are seeing that, if you actually include the fucking tight end that every good quarterback has as a safety valve, you can do great things with that. So hopefully, and this is the main part of the offense that needs to get talked about, Shane Waldron. Now, when we first made this hire, I ignorantly, and I did not do my research, I'm living in the Pacific Northwest now, but I should have asked around. Shane Waldron was not necessarily the most popular motherfucker in Seattle. Everybody would like to say that he was able to do so much with Geno Smith and everything like that. But when you actually look into it, when I did my research, it comes to find out he wasn't the guy that was credited for everything that happened with Geno. He's not the guy that is the quarterback whisperer that everyone thinks he is. That was, can't think of his name. He's the head coach for Carolina now. Doesn't seem like that with what he's doing with Bryce, but he was able to do something with all these other quarterbacks. He's making Andy Dalton look at least somewhat passable and decent as a starter right now. So it really is going to come down to him, and I mean Shane Waldron when I say this, figuring out how to best utilize the talent that he has, not get in his own way, and just use his brain. There's no reason why we should have been going into these first couple games with Cole Kmet not being involved in the first drive, with Mercedes Lewis getting more snaps than Cole. There's no reason why you shouldn't just be taking advantage of the fact that you have Rome and you have DJ. Just give them the ball. I'm not a big fan of the screen, but not even a screen pass. Do a slant. Do something. There's so much more that he could have been doing, and just be consistent with running the ball. I understand it's not going to work. I understand we don't have the best O-line. The O-line is not great. I understand that they are not being coached well, but we just don't have a great O-line. That was not addressed well in the offseason. We're gonna have to. That's the main focus at this point. If we can even trade for somebody during the season, we need to do that because we got to do something. But with all that being said, there's a lot of promise just because, like I said, Caleb is showing improvement week after week after week. It's early. I don't want to say it, but I haven't seen a Bears quarterback in my lifetime who's come in as a rookie who has just shown that clear, like, okay, this dude, he's not you don't have to necessarily have the training wheels on for him. This is somebody like, the one word that I heard in his scouting report that I always love to go back to is a football savant. That's not a one word, that's two, but you get what I'm saying. And I feel like that perfectly encapsulates what I've seen from him. He's somebody who seems like he's getting what's going on more and more. Eventually, it's all going to slow down. It's going to slow down. It's still going a little bit above the speed limit right now for him, but eventually this shit is going to slow down. And when it does, I think that's when we're really going to take off. Because I'll be honest, going in, the bigger concern for me was Caleb. I had no real doubt that Rome was going to be a good receiver if we gave him time, and if he's learning from Keenan Allen and he's got fucking DJ Moore next to him, he's gonna figure shit out. So that was never really a concern for me. It was always, is Caleb going to be another quarterback that comes in and we somehow ruin him, or he just isn't it? And I think he's it. And I'm proud to say that shit. And when it comes to the offense, that's all I got to say. I think they're going to be improving, hopefully, as time goes on. I don't know what we're going to do with the O-line because we just don't have the pieces. We just don't. I just don't think we do. So we have to find some way to sort of minimize that, focus on just getting the ball out quicker. Hopefully maybe they can start, maybe the run game can get going. Roshan can start taking off. But I don't know what we're going to do about that. That's all we can do is just hope that the O-line and the offensive coordinator don't completely fuck us up. When it comes to the defense, though, they have been everything that we thought they were going to be. Everything that I have been looking for in terms of that defense, they do. I know some people worry about the fact that we give up big chunk plays, but I think you have to keep in mind with the way that the NFL is designed now, with offenses being able to just take advantage of everything, you're sort of left in a position where you're going to have to give up that chunk play. Not to say that we shouldn't be better at stopping it. We shouldn't be focusing on that, but it's hard. It's hard to play defense when you're in a league that is just geared towards these quarterbacks and these receivers. You can't jam anybody. You can't do the stuff you used to do. You can't attack. You can't just be waiting to take somebody out the middle of the field like you used to. There's no more of that. So I feel like they're doing exceptionally well for everything that they can do right now. They're still not perfect. Like, it's hard to be perfect. This isn't the 85 defense or anything like that, but Jalen Johnson is still shut down. We still got good safety play. I still love the linebackers, the D line. Excuse me for any construction if y'all can hear that in the background. We still have a great, fucking great linebacker core, and the D line. I feel like somebody needs to come out a little bit next to Sweat. I feel like I liked what Booker was doing, so I feel like he's going to end up. I feel like he's going to grow into a great pro. I feel like he's going to be maybe not this year, but that second and third year, he's just going to take off, and that'll be our number 1-2 punch. But yeah, no, I feel like we're just doing a great job on defense. Eberflus, I'm not, I'm really not sold on that dude as a coach. I definitely don't fucking. Here's my thing. How do you waste a timeout after you score a touchdown? That's somebody's got to explain that to me. I'm still trying to wrap my head around how that happened in the Indianapolis game. I still remember watching that and just thinking to myself, how the fuck? That's some shit you do on accident when you're playing a video game. When your finger slips and you just accidentally press the button. That's not something you do in. He just. It's early. This is a young team for the most part. He doesn't have them prepared all the time. He doesn't have them prepared. It doesn't feel like he is on the same page as everybody else. The defense might love him. They might fuck with him as a defensive-minded coach, and that's cool. But it's hard for me to really give him excuses just because the defense is good when you're making some of these boneheaded, just dumb mistakes that winning coaches just don't do. And that's the part that really makes me frustrated about him. And that's what scares me. Because if we don't have the right coach in, then we're just wasting time. And that's the one thing we can't do because this is in this NFL landscape, your window of opportunity to win, to go out there and get a Lombardi and just hoist that shit and not have to worry too much about stripping everything apart, paying everybody. The window is not that wide open. I feel like ours is not. We shouldn't necessarily be worrying about that yet, but you want the right people in charge. You want the right people to be there, and I just don't know if Eberflus is that dude. So I think we're gonna have to give that time. I told somebody else this. We have a very, very, very winnable schedule. Like the next couple games that we have up until about November 10th is all winnable games. We don't face anybody that scares me. The hardest game that we have on that schedule coming up is the Commanders. That's it. Like these next slate of games, all of them are non-division. So until we have to start going through that little gauntlet at the end when we have to face a whole bunch of division opponents and we have the 49ers in there, we should be winning these games. We're not that bad of a team. This isn't that bad of a roster. We play the Panthers this damn Sunday. If we lose to the Panthers, and I know that's just one game, if we lose to the fucking Panthers, you already have to be looking for Eberflus's replacement. Because that's unexcusable. That's inexcusable. Excuse my language. We just got to be thinking about the future because he's on thin ice with me, and I don't know if we're gonna be able to like just handle another year of just forcing this dude to just be our coach just because we want to have stability. He is not stability. He's barely mediocrity. He's barely mediocrity at this point, and that's my biggest fear. Just strapping a blue chip prospect who should be able to turn into the guy here, and just strapping him with a lame duck head coach. And yeah, aside from that, the only other thing I gotta say, Torrey Taylor is the best punter in the league. I'm so happy we drafted him. I don't know about Santos. Kickers come and go. I'm nobody's ever really had me like sold on a kicker when it comes to the Bears since Robbie Gould. Still don't know why we got rid of him. But yeah, I don't know how I feel about Cairo Santos, but Torrey Taylor, I fuck with him. So yeah, that's how I feel about the season right now. I think everybody has to chill the fuck out. We have a lot to look forward to. We didn't come out of that opening slate of games 1-3 or 0-4 We won 2 games. We beat the Rams when everybody thought that we weren't going to beat them after the way everybody was talking about us. So we have a lot to look forward to. So have some hope, have some faith. Shit is going to be good. I'm not going to say just expect the playoffs, but this is not a team that should be at the end of. We should not be out of it by November 10th, and that's the when the like I said, circle that on your calendars if you're a Bears fan. November 10th. That is when these slate of games that we have against non-division opponents and all these bottom feeders. I'm telling you, Panthers, Jaguars, Patriots, Commanders. There's somebody I'm missing in there. There's some other team, but it's really not a. It's not a. This is not tough. We can handle this. So if we can get through that, then I think that we will be fine. So, like I said, Bears fans, have some faith. Shit is looking up for us. Don't listen to the negativity. There's a lot of people who like to. People tried to say that Caleb was going to be this generational rookie who was going to come in and do all this extra shit. People put us in the Super Bowl, all these like analysts and all this shit. Don't listen to that. That is never what we were supposed to be. We're going to be fine because this is what the team what I expected the team to be if we're being honest. A young team led by a young quarterback who's going through growing pains. The offensive line was never going to be like top 5 to me. I thought I thought they were going to be, I don't know, middle of the pack at this point, but this is definitely way worse than I expected. But I didn't expect this team to be like beating everybody's ass and just be 4-0, destroying motherfuckers. I expected us to be growing, and that's what we're doing. So be happy for the growth. I apologize for all the construction in the back. This has been Kinetic Aesthetic. I hope everybody had a wonderful rest of your day, and be on the lookout for everything we got coming up.